Good morning and welcome to Great Transition Strategies Monday Morning Standup. 5 minutes to get your week off to a great start and potentially give you something to make you a more effective leader. Today's topic, 9/11 and servant leadership. I'm Gary Slyman. As an executive coach, I work with high performers to help them build their self-awareness so they understand how they lead, they can be more effective and love what they do. 9/11 and servant leadership. First, I hope you had an opportunity yesterday on 9/11, today's 9/12, to think about what happened on 9/11 and never forget what happened on that particular day. 9/11 and servant leadership. When I say servant leadership, what comes to mind when you think about it? Okay, service. Service to whom? Is it service just to individuals or is it service to an organization? So servant leadership, what's it mean to you? And do you have anyone in mind who was a good example for you as a servant leader? So I think 9/11 is one of the greatest examples we have of servant leadership. So let's talk a little bit about 9/11 and what happened. I'm going to give you my view of servant leaders that particular day. Some of the numbers: we lost 2,977 victims on 9/11, and that's from the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and in Pennsylvania, in that field in Pennsylvania. Of those, how many of them do you think were first responders? There were 415 first responders. That's 14% of the casualties were first responders. So I'm using as an example first responders as servant leaders on that particular day. So think about servant leaders. So what is servant leadership? I think it has a number of elements. I think servant leadership, clearly it needs to be defined, and it needs to be defined who you serve. You serve an organization, and I think you serve the organization, and I think you serve some people. Who are those people that you serve? I think you need to have that well defined. Now, we focus a lot on our losses on 9/11. How many people died? How many people we lost? And I just brought up, how many people did we lose? How many first responders do we lose? Let's talk about how many people survived. How many people do you think were in the buildings in the World Trade Center that day, that morning, on 9/11/2001? It's estimated anywhere between 14 is a low number, 17, 18,000 people. So let's just use 15,000 people were able to get out of that building possibly. That's a common number that you hear. Maybe 15,000 got out. Why did they get out? How did they get out? Some got out on their own, but many of them got out because of the servant leadership of the first responders responding to that. Every one of those firefighters, every one of those first responders that responded to that were out serving their organization, which was well defined. This is what the organization says we do. They were serving the public that they said they were going to serve, and they were going in that building knowing, as they were going up those stairs, they knew that this might be the last event that they knew they were in grave danger going upstairs. And some of them made it to the 83rd floor before the first building collapsed. I don't know for sure if it was North or South Tower. So every one of them knew, and they were there serving the public, knowing that they were in grave risk. So this is all about leadership. So what is servant leadership to you and your organization? And I think you need to do three things. One, define it. What is servant leadership? What does it mean? And the elements that it means. How are you serving your organization? How does your organization serve others? And who do you serve? Who are the people that you serve? And I think the third part is this has to be practiced. Those servant leaders on 9/11, they didn't just show up and be able to do it that day. They practice it every single day. They practice it every day. They educate themselves. They train themselves for it. So what are you doing for yourself as a servant leader? What are you doing for your organization to make sure it's well defined what servant leadership looks like and who you serve? What are you doing to make sure that those individuals see that you're serving them? Servant leadership is a deliberate decision. Define it, define who you serve, define your organization, who it serves, define how you're doing it, and you have to practice it every single day. Hope you found that helpful. I hope that this inspires you. 9/11 inspired a lot of people to do a lot of things, created a whole bunch of firefighters on 9/12, and a whole bunch of folks went in the military thinking about it on 9/12. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. See you next Monday morning, 8:30.